everybody, welcome back to my channel, Life with Patty. And as you see by the title of this video, it's time for me to do another movie review. I feel like I'm doing this one fairly quick from the last one. I mean, I think it's been a few weeks, but we've been on a movie kick lately. And I don't know if it's because I had, you know, the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's, I had 3-day weekends. Now I'm back to regular 2 days off, but we've been watching a lot of movies. So I have 8 movies for you guys today. And sometimes I think I need to write notes down because, you know, I can't remember what I have for breakfast sometimes. But anyways, sometimes I wish I would write the details down a little more for you. But you also want to be surprised a little bit when you watch the movie if you haven't watched the movie. So most of these movies are older movies. They're all older movies. Yep. But I enjoy them all. And so let me know in the comments below if you've watched any of these movies, all of these movies, none of these movies, what? And I always like to hear new suggestions from movies that you guys like, and then sometimes I've watched them, sometimes I haven't, so let me know. Okay, so we watched this one last night, Rumor Has It, with Jennifer Aniston, Kevin Costner, Shirley MacLaine, and Mark Ruffalo. It's such a good movie. Okay, so if any of you have ever read the book The Graduate, that is what this is based on, is The Graduate. And let's see. I want to see what his name was in the movie because I forget. I forget what his name was in the movie. Darn it. I should have, oh well, I'm not gonna wait. Okay, so anyways, Kevin Costner plays this good-looking debonair guy who back in, like, I don't know when, he sleeps with Shirley MacLaine, and she is like 18 years or something his senior. And so he slept with an older woman. They had a little fling, right? And then he dumps her, and he didn't really dump her because he was never with her. They just had a little fling. And then he disappears and never returns, which makes her bitter. Like she said, you know, towards the end of the movie, it made her feel old, like that he just like used her and took off. Well, anyways, so then she has a daughter, and the daughter has this daughter, and that would be her granddaughter. So the daughter is going to get married, and so she kind of was having a little breakdown, didn't know if it was the right thing or not to do. So she goes to Mexico, to Cabo San Lucas, and just happens to run into Kevin Costner. I mean, that's not his name in the movie. And anyways, they had this 3-day wingding, and then she came home and got married to Jennifer's father. Well, then later, Jennifer's sister in the movie is getting married, and Jennifer's name is Sarah in the movie. Well, her sister's getting married, and the grandma finally confides in Sarah that her daughter had gone and had a fling with this guy. Well, then Jennifer was thinking, that could be my dad, because she was conceived really close to or before or right on when her mom and dad got married. So then she started freaking out, thinking it was that she had a different father. And she said it made sense because she was so different. She looked different. She acted different. She liked different things. And this is her fiance in the movie. But she is always really leery to commit to him. And so she goes off looking for who she thinks might be her father. And it ends up not being her father. And she ends up having a fling with him. So he has slept with the grandma, the mother, and the daughter. And so the rest I want you just to watch if you haven't seen it. Because this one finds her kissing this one. And he said, I sure hope you're not kissing your father. And I felt really bad for him. And then, so you just have to watch the rest of the movie to see what happens. But it was just a fun, cute movie. I really liked it. I think it's rated PG. It's not even rated, yeah, it's just rated PG, not even PG-13. So there's not even really any cussing or anything into it. And the one that plays her father plays a really good role as well. So this is a good movie. We enjoyed it. I've watched it probably 4 or 5 times, and I really liked it. Okay. Katherine Heigl stars in 21 Dresses. I've watched this movie I don't know how many times. And anyways, she's always the bridesmaid, never the bride, so to speak. And so she has so many friends, and she's always in their weddings, and they have all kinds of themes. She's always just the best bridesmaid ever, helps out with everything, because, you know, maid of honor at a lot of the weddings. And this news reporter is reporting on her and how she goes to all these different weddings, and she leaves her planner in the taxi that he's also in. And so he goes through it and finds out where she works and takes the planner to her. He ends up really falling for her. She just is treating him like terrible, thinking she doesn't like him, and she likes her boss, who's always, her boss is always using her, and her boss ends up falling for her sister, which really crushes her. And it's just it's a good movie. You just have to watch it. It's really cute. I've watched it so many times, and I'd watch it again. It's a great movie. All right, so this is the newer version with Dennis Quaid and Rene Russo of Yours, Mine, and Ours. So the original, you know, was from Lucille Ball and I can't remember, Henry Fonda. That's who starred in the original Yours, Mine, and Ours, who I love, love, love. And a lot of times when they do these remakes, I don't like them. This one, however, was super cute, where he is the captain of, he's a Coast Guard, and he's like a captain, and he has 10 kids. No, he has 8 kids. He has 8 kids. And she has 10 kids. He has 8 and she has 10, and she's adopted 6 of hers, and she's given birth to 4 of hers, and her husband died and his wife died. And so he always runs a tight ship, and she's very free, and you know, they pass the talking stick around, and it's just they got the potbelly pig in the house. Anyways, they used to be high school sweethearts. They went to their class reunion, and they hooked back up, and they didn't even think about it. They just fell in love and ran off and got married that night, not thinking about all their kids. And it's just like the other one. It's just such a good movie. So I really liked the remake on this one. Like I said, a lot of times I don't. But this movie's been out for, I think, since 1990. So it's been out for quite a few years. Is that what it was? Because, I mean, Blockbuster has been gone for a long time. And I used to buy these movies used at Blockbuster. I miss that. Okay. The next one is Three Kings. I can't remember who told me to watch this one. I think maybe it was Mary Salvato. I honestly did not care for it. And I'll tell you why. I'm not into war movies. I'm not into action movies. I'm not into a lot of Western movies, because Western movies are bang, bang, shoot 'em up also. So this had a lot of war in it. And it was all based with Desert Storm. It was starred in by George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, and Ice Cube. And, I mean, it probably was a really good movie. I did not enjoy it. Rick, my husband, Rick, he loved it. He loved it, and he was happy to have a change from all my chick flicks. So, if you've watched this one, tell me what you think of it. I didn't like it. I ended up getting up and going over and coloring because I just wasn't into it. But I think it's just because of the type of movie it is. I'm just not into those kind of movies. All right, the next one, if y'all haven't seen, if there is one person that has not seen this movie, you need to write it in the comments below. My son, who is now 35, when he was like 4, he would watch this movie over and over and over on the VHS, and he'd get up in the morning and he'd go into the living room, turn on the TV, and pop in the movie, and he would watch this over and over and over again until he wore out the movie, because you know how they used to stretch the film on the VHSs. But anyways, I don't know. It was a rainy day. We all know what The Wizard of Oz is about, and there's no place like home. And my dad said this was the first movie he ever watched that was in color. And that the beginning of it is black and white, and then when she gets to Oz and the doors open, it's all color. My dad said he remembers at the movie theater, so it had to have been in the 40s. He says he remembers everybody in the movie theater going, when it was in color, because it was the first movie to be in color. So there's a little history there with my dad. So anyways, if you have not seen this movie, really, you need to tell me in the comments below. And then you need to go watch it. And you might think it's a corny movie, but I love it. This was the last holiday Christmas movie that we watched for the season. It's The Holiday. So this was the last holiday movie that we watched. And it is with Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, who played in Titanic, Jude Law, and Jack Black. And it's about them switching houses. So she is, she lives in like Los Angeles, and she lives in England. She lives way out in the country in this adorable little cottage. She lives in this big, huge, modern, gigantic house. And this is her brother, I think. Let me see, how does this work? Yes, this is her brother. This is Kate's brother. And so he comes to the house when she's staying there, and he's had too much to drink, and he ends up crashing on her couch. Anyways, these two hook up. This one, he is her assistant in Los Angeles, and Buster, go in the other room. And he ends up hooking up with her. And so... Right, so brother, sister, and he hooks up with her, and he hooks up with her, and she hooks up with him. Yes, got it. But anyways, it's a cute movie where they switch houses. They are both on vacation. She wants to read a million books. She goes swimming because it's wintertime, but in Southern California, it's warm even in the wintertime for the most part. And so she's up she's at the house in England, and it's snowing, and she's not used to that. She doesn't bring any winter clothes. It's just a really cute movie, and we've watched it probably 3 or 4 Christmases in a row, and we really enjoyed it. Okay, this next one is a classic. I watch it all the time. I love Sandra Bullock, period. She's such a great actress. And this is with Bill Pullman also, where she works at a train station in, I think it's either New York or, no, it's not. It's in Chicago. Yeah, she's in Chicago. She works at a train station just taking your toll money. And his brother is so handsome. He's a lawyer. He's very successful, and he rides the train every day to work. And she's just in love with him. Well, he slips and falls on the train tracks, and she rushes out there and pulls him aside so he doesn't get ran over by the train. So she saved his life, but he's in a coma. And so she runs to the hospital with him to make sure he's okay. And so a nurse sees her, and she's like, but I was going to marry you. And she really wasn't, but she was like in her fantasy. Well, the nurse thought that was the fiance, so she told the whole family it was the fiance. And it's just such a cute movie. And she ends up, of course, falling for the brother. But even though she really thought she liked the other brother to begin with. So, oh, definitely a good movie. I've watched it several times, would watch it again. Okay, and we have one more. Our last one is Mrs. Doubtfire, which is also a classic with Robin Williams and Sally Field. And of course, we don't have Robin with us anymore. And he and Sally Field are married. He's like a freelance actor, never has a good job. She's an interior designer. They live in San Francisco, and she's very successful, basically brings the money home for them. They have 3 children, and he's always just like one of the kids almost. And finally she's had it. She wants a divorce, but he wants to see his kids. And he ends up dressing up like a housekeeper, and he calls himself Mrs. Doubtfire so that he can be with his kids every day. And he pulls that off for a while, and then something happens and his costume comes off. And also she falls in love with a past sweetheart, and he's seeing all of this, but she loves him as Mrs. Doubtfire. She thinks she's got a new best friend, and it's really her ex-husband. And so it's just a good story, and I've watched it so many times. I know most of you have probably watched it. If you haven't watched this, comment below. So, okay, those were my movie reviews for this week. I'm kind of rushing through them because I had so many, and I didn't want to make the video super long. So let me know how many of these movies you've watched or haven't watched. I really want to know if any of you haven't watched The Wizard of Oz, because that's like a classic. That and Sound of Music. I'm going to try to do them every 5 videos so that I can take a little more time with them. And as always, write your favorite movies in the comments below, and I'll try and see if I can watch it if I haven't watched it already. So, all right, you guys take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you back here real soon. Bye-bye.